Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the Small Brain Podcast, where today we're doing an OG move, classic Small Brain Podcast move. We are podcasting from an airport, so apologies for the horrific sound quality and background noise, and what I'm sure are, maybe people messing with me behind the camera. I have no idea what's going on back there. This is our podcast studio today. So welcome to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, guys, where today we're doing short little layover on the way to our next destination. And this is a place that I have not wanted to go to for a very long time. I'll be very honest with you. I'll be very frank. I had absolutely zero interest in going to this place for years and years and years. People, all my traveler friends had, talked about it. Like there's this lore around it. There's this legendary aura of this entire continent. I don't know, it just never really captured my attention. It never really, garnered my interest, in my opinion. But for whatever reason, recently I have become obsessed with it. And that's right, guys. Today we are going to Africa. And not Northern Africa, not Morocco, not Egypt. We're going to actual Africa, the black Africa, not the Arab Africa, all right? We're going to Eastern Africa. And I don't know when I'm going to release this. Fuck it. I'll say it. And I'll release it with the full-length video. We're starting in Tanzania, and we're doing a Footsteps of Humanity tour where we are trying to retrace the footsteps of prehistoric humans, the first humans ever to exist. We are following in their footsteps. We're starting in East Africa, where it all began, in Tanzania, and that's all I'll say for now. But I kind of want to just jump on here and tell you guys about how I'm feeling, if I'm feeling apprehensive or anxious or nervous in any way, and some of my goals for the trip, what I hope to get from it, what I'm excited for, and what I'm afraid of. So I guess we'll start with, honestly, top of mind. First thing that comes to mind is the anxiety. I feel very anxious about this. I've, went to Morocco, but I don't really consider that in the same ballpark as Tanzania and a few other countries. I don't know. I don't want to say too much about the other countries because I want to be able to release this with a full-length video. But I think there's just a lot of mystery around Africa. I've had friends that have gone to Africa. Kieran Brown Travel, he's on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. He did an extensive trip in Western Africa. And to be fair, that's not the same region. I totally understand. Like West Africa, Central Africa, and even South Africa are totally different from North Africa and East Africa. It's a huge continent. And I'm learning this, guys. I thought it was just all one big country before I started doing my research. But it turns out there's at least like 7 or 8 countries in the entire continent of Africa. And they're all drastically different, especially depending on the region. Like in West Africa, where Kieran went, I had him on my show about a year ago called From Afghanistan with Love, where he talked about, obviously, his trip to Afghanistan, but also he was about to embark on his trip to West Africa. And since then, I've talked to Kieran, and he said it was an absolute shithole. He said it's very rarely do you see paved roads, or very rarely do you encounter police officers that don't ask for a bribe. And I mean, hell, he literally got mugged in Cameroon yesterday. Him and Harry Jaggard. Literally, I saw it on Harry's story. He got mugged, dude. They took his sunglasses. They tried to take his phone, his camera. Someone pulled a knife on him, and it was like a group of guys tugging at Harry, and he somehow ran off. Absolutely insane. And that's the kind of images that come up when you think of Africa. You think of the fucking UNICEF kids, 5 cents a day, and you can, help cure this kid's disgusting cleft palate, Yeah. So that's the Africa you think of, right? And that's obviously what's in my mind. I feel like before you go to a country, it's hard to not think about the stereotypes. It's truly almost impossible because that's the only, intake you have of the country. This is the only, access you have to this country. And, besides a few YouTube videos that I've seen here and there, And honestly, I've said this on a podcast before, but I think that is the most accurate way to learn about a place, is truly through YouTube. Like, better than books, better than guidebooks, better than someone's blog post. And a blog post is nice, but actually physically seeing someone in the country makes a world of difference to your understanding of it. You understand how the people treat you. You understand what the food looks like. You understand if the people honk their horns. Like, you can see and you can hear it, right? It's like the most immersive experience you can have in a place, right? It's as close as you're going to get to the experience is a video, especially, you know, selfishly speaking, from someone's like little action camera or their iPhone, like something that's not highly produced, something that is going to really capture the essence of what it is to be there, right? Instead of like a fancy gimbal and you're color grading the shots and you're using a lav mic and you're hiring a fixer and a translator, like, no, just a guy on the ground there explaining, or not even explaining, just showing you, even those like little walking tours where it's just a guy with a little DJI like Osmo Pocket 3 or whatever the fuck walking around a little town in Japan, not even narrating anything. You know, the Japanese, they love these fucking channels. They love to not speak, and they love to hide their identities, you know. But even that is like a beautiful, like immaculate, like snapshot into the culture. That is as close as you're gonna get. Even honestly, probably better than me making my video, because I always have like, I'll have some kind of goal or mission, or I'll be speaking my mind, or I'll be talking about another trip I did. No, it's just like guy with a camera, like walking around filming. I think that's probably the most immersive you're gonna get. You're gonna hear the locals speaking in their language. You're gonna see what they eat. You're gonna hear the traffic. You're gonna hear the buzzards or whatever the fuck, you know. And so yeah, I you know, speaking on like what I hope to get out of it, I hope that I can capture whatever I see in Africa, and I'm gonna do my best, guys, to be unbiased. I do think I'm going to have certain opinions about it, just generally speaking, based on my experience in India. Not a huge fan of places with no paved roads, but you know, more generally speaking, I want to get out of this, like, I don't know, I read this book a while ago. It was called like The History of the World Through Maps, and it was just like a fucking illustrated kind of textbook. And one of the chapters was about like early human migrations, and just seeing like the actual line of human beings go out of East Africa across the globe. Something about it just fucking drew me in. Like, these are people that didn't know where they were about to go. They didn't know what lies on the other side of whatever body of water they're staring across. They didn't know how to navigate with boats. They barely even knew how to harness fire, dude. These are people that just like a few, 10, 20,000 years ago, before they started migrating, learned how to speak. You know what I mean? Don't fact check that. I'm not an anthropologist, but you get the picture, right? Like, these are people that had all odds against them. They had no reason to succeed. And somehow they survived. And that's who all these people are that you see around us. We're the survivors of that migration path. From there, humans migrated into, Central and Eastern Europe, into North and Western Europe. And that's where we get my people. People, migrated from the Middle East into Central Asia, into East Asia. And like, the human migration story is still unfolding all around us, whether it's Mexicans getting to America, or even today, to this day, Africans fleeing genocide and civil war and religious persecution. They're fleeing to other parts of the world. They're still doing it. And now, obviously, with cell phones, we have a little bit more understanding of the world, and we can, it's not as dangerous as it was back then. But you see what I'm saying? Like, this concept of human migration is so powerful, and it goes back so far, to the very beginning of human history. Once we started walking upright, climbing trees, killing things, using fire, speaking, we're out, dude. Like, it's in our nature to be nomadic, And so I hope I can capture, if I can even capture 2% of the emotion that I just described, I think the series will be a smashing success. And, I don't know what I'm going to call it. The original, kind of longer series was Ireland to Japan. I'm thinking about calling this one like Footsteps of Humanity Tour, or fuck, honestly, that's probably the best I got right now. First Footsteps out of East Africa. That's not as of a riveting of a title, but that's the goal, guys. I want to, trace the origins of mankind in and out of Africa. And I don't know where the series is going to end. Last time I said Ireland to Japan, and I locked myself into Japan. And honestly, guys, I have pretty much that series to thank for my entire livelihood, for my entire channel, my entire career. But I got to be honest with you guys, your podcast listeners, your loyal viewers. That was so hard, and it made me want to quit, honestly. Well, maybe it didn't make me want to quit, but it was just such a goddamn challenge. It made me hate. Well, that's again too strong. I don't want to burn out. Like that, I was burnt out so bad at the end of that. I was out of ideas. I was out of motivation. I was out of money. Like, I want to avoid that on this trip, and I want to make it more of something sustainable, something that I can continue doing. And then when I pick up the camera and I'm ready to film, I'm excited, and I'm ready to share something that I'm excited about, instead of like doing it out of, obligation. Like, fuck, I'm in, Romania today. I gotta film something in Romania because it's on the way. No, I want to make it something that I'm like really jazzed up about. I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it. So I don't want to lock myself in to a certain path just yet. Plus, that wouldn't be exciting for you guys. You're gonna know the fucking next 3 months of the channel, like, if I just splooge it all out right here. But yeah, guys, that's the gist of it. That's the next major goal of the channel. We struck gold with Ireland to Japan on a motorcycle. We truly did. Even though we had to sell the bike, even though I ran out of money, it was, like I said, we're totally responsible for, the current, the channel as it exists today. And, it sucked doing it, but it truly was one of the greatest adventures of my life. It taught me so much about how to be a YouTuber, how to edit videos, what kind of stylistic choices I want to make, how I want to separate myself from other people that are around me kind of on YouTube. And I want to get back to that. I want this to feel like an OG. I want this to be a legendary experience. And I know we're still in fucking America. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen, obviously, but this is my goal. I want it to be something where I can tell my grandkids about this someday, and they're going to light up and be like, holy shit, like, Grandpa was cool. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Ireland to Japan videos, and even now, like, just 2 years later, I look back on that, like, very fondly about, like, damn, dude, I really did that. Like, I really got myself across all of Eurasia, mostly using land borders, with basically no money, honestly. Like, you guys saw that Vietnam video, the human trafficking one, the last one of the series before I got to Japan, where I couldn't afford the ticket. I missed the flight. They scammed me out of the KETA to get into Korea. It cost like $100. It should have costed like $8. And I was basically out of money. I missed the flight, and I was crying, man. I was crying. And, that was at the end of my rope. And makes for great content, but I don't know if that can be like a replicable, method to keeping the channel alive. I don't think that's going to be how I do it, because honestly, if I were to do that again today, it would, fucking hell, it might kill me, dude. But I want to do something like more ambitious. I wanted to do something that is a challenge, because I feel like, I go back to Japan a lot. I love Japan. And I feel like at this point, I'm kind of running out of things to say about Japan. I've kind of mentioned the drinking culture. I've mentioned how safe and how clean it is and how fast the trains are. And I've mentioned how friendly I think the people are. And I don't know what's next for me in Japan. And so I want to take this trip and just challenge myself and do something new, because, I don't want to be the guy that's doing the same thing every video. I don't want to, like, get 1 million views on a drinking video and think that has to be my next 5 to 10 years on YouTube, because it's not going to be. Like, my liver can't handle it. My fucking lungs can't handle it. My mental health can't handle it. Just going out binge drinking fucking 3 nights in a row. It's insane. And And honestly, I think I would get bored if I just continued to make the same video over and over. And you know what? I love drinking in Japan. I love Japan. It's a place I'm going to go back to time and time and time and time again. I'm never going to stop going back, but I just don't want that to be like what people expect of me. I don't want really people to expect anything of me. I want to keep them guessing, and I want to continue reinventing myself and like making new stuff and even surprising myself. Like, you know, this whole Africa thing, it came to me. Like I said, I was reading this book, like The History of the World Through Maps or something like that, and it gripped me from the moment that I had the idea. I couldn't ignore it. It was such a powerful idea to me that, and I know it sounds fucking stupid, but I just had to do it, you know. And I want to like continue keeping myself open to those new ideas, because, you know, in a creative industry like YouTube or podcasting or writing or photography or whatever it is, I think you have to just purely follow your interests. You know, the original Ireland to Japan series was just based on my interest. I was just interested in what it would be like to see all of Eurasia on land, to see like the slow changing of the continent over time and over thousands and thousands of kilometers. And I feel like we really accomplished that. And, you know, with this series, I think I don't want to speak too soon, but I hope that I'm, you know, digging at layers deep. Oh, fuck. Oh, got some indigestion, dog. Oh, my God. This is what aging looks like, boys and girls. Holy shit. Take your vitamins. Yeah, I just want to, I feel like this series is like chipping away a little bit deeper at like what originally interested me in the Ireland to Japan idea is this like mass movement over entire land masses. And yeah, and that's part of the reason why I don't want to even tell you like where I'm going next, because, you know, I want to surprise myself. And like human migration goes in a million different directions, so I want to see wherever it takes me, you know what I mean? Like try to go on that journey myself. I guess things I'm scared of would be the bribery. I am honestly really scared of Africa and the corruption. And dude, Harry and Kieran got fucking mugged the day before I leave for Africa. Like, if that's not a sign from God, I don't know what is. If that's not a sign from God to be like, please, Connor, do not go on this trip. But, you know, the flight's booked and c'est la vie, baby. But, yeah, corruption, like my personal safety, violence, getting robbed, scamming is one thing. I'm not honestly not too worried about being scammed. I think it's just an inevitability in that part of the world. It's like India. It's like, all right, you don't need to be worried about it. Just be vigilant, because you will overpay for things. That's just how it goes, you know. I'm worried about like the land border crossings, and you know, I printed all my visas, guys. I've been crushing it. Okay, on the preparation for Africa. I was gonna leave like 3 weeks ago, and instead I've just been planning every single day, like 2-3 hours a day, sometimes 4, 5, 6 hours a day. I just sit there and I plan. I drink my coffee and I look at the visas. I look at like overlanding options, like bus routes, trains, the prices of things, currency, exchange rates, and all that stuff. Like, I've gotten fully down the autistic rabbit hole with Africa, almost to the point where I'm like, all right, I've learned enough. It's time to go, you know, because again, this is one of those places that it requires some work. It's not like you just hop on a plane to, you know, Central Africa and you're like, all right, let's just see what happens. It's not, you know, as much shit as I talk about India, I think Africa is on a completely different wavelength as far as difficulty and corruption and crime, and it honestly just looks like a shithole. And I don't have to tell you guys, like, just imagine Africa in your mind, right? And this is going to be a fun exercise for me, like watching this video back, because right now my view of Africa is very like kind of beige, sandy. You know, there's some elephants, there's some kids, little toddlers with distended bellies, you know, on a UNICEF commercial. There's some dust blowing in the wind. There's an unpaved road. You know, they're brutally mutilating their children in the name of whatever backwards voodoo religion. I mean, these are just my honest. This is just, I'm being honest, all right. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking the same thing, and you're judging me for saying it right now, but that's just how it is, baby. That's just how it is. And I know there's going to be a million layers of complexity as far as like, oh my God, there's an amazing brand new mall. There's fucking escalators. Oh my God, they have running water. There's going to be some shocking revelations in Africa. I am 100% sure of it. But the thing is, I just don't know what they're going to be yet. And I'm sure a lot of it's going to be that. It's going to be a lot nicer than I think. I'm hoping the people are going to be friendlier, because a lot of the videos I've seen from Africa guys are bad. Like, the people do not look friendly. They don't smile. They don't wave. They don't say welcome. I mean, besides a few. Like, I've definitely seen a few countries where the people are really nice and really hospitable. But in general, if I'm going to a place, for a month, 2 months, 3 months, I worry about, my fucking gut health. Am I going to be able to like eat a healthy meal with fiber and vegetables? And, is there going to be running water? Is there going to be hot water? Are the roads going to be paved? And I know this is all like basic ass white boy goes to Africa. He thinks we all live in a fucking cave or whatever. But look, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Truly, I am looking forward to be proven wrong, because believe me, I don't want it to be bad. For however many haters out there think I go to places looking for the bad shit, I truly don't. I want this to be a fun, engaging, lively, funny experience. I want to meet characters who are friendly, who want to talk to me. I don't want to fucking get arrested. You know what I mean? Dude, me and Tommy got arrested at the North Korean border. I say arrested, but we were just thrown in the back of a cop car and interrogated. I think that's being arrested, because they didn't let us leave. They deleted shit off Tommy's camera. They probed me anally. They made me sign a document saying I pledged lifelong allegiance to the CCP. Just normal stuff when you're getting arrested in China. But that video, so much mental anguish. Didn't enjoy doing it. Didn't enjoy editing it, because believe it or not, I don't like to see myself be terrified on camera. It's not... I don't enjoy it. Didn't even perform that well for how crazy I thought the experience was. Like, I could get more views by going to Japan and smoking cigarettes and interviewing Jacob Jones and passing out on the curb. Just doing normal shit for me. Not like really extending myself, not really challenging myself. So yeah, again, I don't want this to be bad, obviously. I want to have fun. I want to meet cool characters. I want to smoke some funny things. I want to drink some funny things. I want to make love out by the creek all night long, Yeah, I honestly, man, I'm scared. I am scared. Truly scared. Like, this day, I scheduled the flight, 5-6 days ago. And every day since then, I've been like counting down the days like, fuck, dude. Is this going to be terrible? Am I going to get food poisoning? Am I going to have to pay bribes? Am I going to get put in a detention center? Am I going to get deported? Am I going to get on the local news in a bad way? It's one big mystery right now, boys and girls. It's one big mystery. And I guess by the time you've seen this, you will have seen my introduction into Africa, and you'll be like, Connor, you're so silly. Oh, you had no idea you would meet Tanzanian Danzanian. You had no idea you'd meet Danzanian, and you guys would drunk drive a boat in alligator territory, and his leg would get chopped off, and it would be a good old-fashioned hoot and holler. But see, that's the thing. That's the beauty of this podcast. That's the beauty of this YouTube channel. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I haven't booked a hotel. I'm not too worried about that. But I have a general route for, like, how I'm going to get across, all these borders. And I got some really exciting stuff planned. Honestly, I put a lot of TLC into this planning. I've actually really attempted to come up with kind of a rough draft of a story, the kind of story that I want to tell, and how I'm going to lead you guys through that, in what countries the most exciting things happen. And yeah, I got some really good stuff planned. I know YouTubers say that all the time, but like, for me, I feel like that means a lot, because I never really plan. And so I don't know. I'm really excited about it, man. This is something that I had this idea about a year ago, and ever since then I've been paranoid about another YouTuber, or who knows, like multiple YouTubers stealing the idea, because that's just how it goes on YouTube. And hopefully, thankfully no one's done it yet. I don't know when this is going to be posted, but it just hasn't been the right time. Like, life's been crazy. I've been moving apartments, and trying to like live a normal adult life, make friends, and a lot of stuff's been going on in the background that it just hasn't been a good time, and I feel like now is the time to fucking send it. So enough making excuses, enough fucking being scared and overanalyzing and overplanning. Guys, I've printed copies of my passport. I think I have 5 color copies of my passport, because when you go to these border crossings, I've heard these fucking stories of people going to border crossings and then being like, oh, where's your passport? And then he gives them the passport, and then they say something like, oh, we lost it or whatever. They make up some bullshit. But if you have copies, if you have like a physical manifestation of the contents of your passport, you'll be good. I didn't explain that the best, but you get the idea. Like, there could be some fuckery. So I have 5 copies of my passport. I have printed copies of all the visas that I need, all the e-visas and the visas I'm supposed to put in my passport. I have all of them in color with my name on it. No typos. I have a decent amount of cash money, because in a lot of these countries, cash is king still. Crispy Benjamins or Jacksons or Hamiltons, like the big bills, will take you very far, especially to get out of an emergency situation. And I'm not trying to say that to like ball or flex on you guys, but it is what it is. Cash is king in a lot of these countries, and you need it. Like, if you have food poisoning in like Zambia or the Gambia or fucking Equatorial Guinea. Not that I'm going to any of these places, but if you have food poisoning in a shithole, you're going to want to fix that immediately, right? Like, if someone says, oh no, I can't, the bus doesn't run today. I'm like, oh yeah? Here's $20. Does it run now? That's the idea. And, I've got all the cash. I've printed all the visas. I've got all the shots. I've got the malaria pills. Like, this has been something that I've planned way more intensively than I'm used to for. So I really hope that translates into a better video series. I really do, man, because, I just want to have fun with it. I want to try something new. I don't want to get, like, stuck in a creative rut. I want to just keep pushing boundaries with you guys and see what's out there in the big wide world. So, fucking hell, man. It's not long till we board our flight to Africa. Thank you guys very much for coming along for another episode. And I guess next time you'll see me is probably from like a hotel room in one of these shithole countries, describing my experience so far. So see you then. Bye bye.